What I will say about yesterday, before we get into it in more detail, I actually think it was a really high quality football match. But you could argue maybe the finishing over the two legs wasn't the standard you'd expect it to be. But I remember the semi-final between Chelsea and Barca in 2009. Neither of those games were high scoring. But sometimes that's what happens when you've got two very good teams playing each other. And I understand that Liverpool will review the match differently. I do think now, looking back, Slot made some mistakes. Maybe you were a little bit too gung-ho to begin with. But overall, across the two legs, it was two very, very good things. And I will say as well, Kate got 4-1 right. She just didn't realize it was on the penalties, but she got the 4-1 correct.
Can you stop giving Kate credit? Listen, Kate is wrong. Can we just sit up here and just say it like, oh, guys, Kate was wrong because she said 4-1 at the Parc des Princes. It ended 1-0 to Liverpool, and the discussion, Kate was wrong. Stop trying to twist it into you were right, Kate. No, you were not right, Kate. Okay?
Do you know what's interesting? Scoreline.
Also, Kate, for the love of God, can your club do something this season? Can you please just win the Europa so we can just put stuff together?
The thing with Kate is, though, where I'm going to defend Kate is that she doesn't do this. It's not even a mockery thing of Liverpool. All that she stated is that what she's seen of PSG, she felt they were going to cut through Liverpool and have the opportunities to score. The only thing she got wrong was the final part, which was the players finishing them. And Alisson made some good saves. But even last night, Barcola should have taken it around the goalie and scored. Dembele went through and should have got a shot off. And again, I feel like in those one-on-ones, players of that quality should be scoring more often than not. I thought the game would be close, but they did create so many more chances against you than I expected them to. Is it shown you, I know you're going to be champions of England and you deserve it, but has it shown you, Husam, maybe some holes in the Liverpool team that maybe you didn't see before this tie?
Yes. I saw them to an extent, but I believed in Mo. But I realized, listen, in the Champions League, Mo alone is not enough. Because when Vinicius has a bad game, Mbappe bails them out. When Mbappe has a bad game, Rodrigo bails them out. When Rodrigo has a bad game, Bellingham bails them out. In the Champions League, to win it, you need a lot. And even yesterday, like we saw with Inter Milan, that Marcus Thuram goal was absolutely incredible. And many people, maybe when they look at Inter Milan, they don't even recognize Marcus Thuram as like even a top 3 player at Inter. But he had a finish that helped them go through in the knockout stages. And I think you do need certain players to help out because, listen, people always like to make just it's so like the one thing I hate is conversations on both sides that are so extreme. First of all, like overarching conversations on Mo, overarching conversations on Slot, overarching conversations on Liverpool this season. Let's establish something. Alex Ferguson, who's looked at as the best manager ever in Premier League history, only won the Champions League and the Premier League twice in the same season. When you look at Pep Guardiola with Manchester City over the last 7 years, he's won it in the same season only once. So like doing, and I'm gonna acknowledge, like I do think we will win this English Premier League. Like obviously if we don't from here, I'm going to quit YouTube. I'm telling everyone. So we are going to win the Premier League from this position right here that we're in. So winning the Premier League in Slot's first season, of course, is a fantastic achievement. If we get the Carabao Cup as well this Sunday, then we kind of replicate 14-15 Chelsea, exactly what Jose Mourinho did. Remember the season before where he referred to Chelsea as a pony and then they're going to become a horse? The exact season, like they got eliminated in the FA Cup by Bradford. They got eliminated in the Champions League by PSG as well, round of 16. And they ended up winning the league and the Carabao Cup. Now, if we win the league and the Carabao Cup, it's a fantastic season. But in order to win the Champions League, and I think, like, obviously, it still is the most luxurious competition in world football. It's funny because when I was asked the question on the stream, and Vater was here, I was like, every club on the planet should choose Champions League over league except us, because we have 6 and I'm trying to equal Man United's number, so I need to win this Premier League. So like when it comes to Champions League, like obviously it's a luxurious competition, it's the biggest competition in club football, but you do need more pieces around. There is a reason why, like, you know, the teams that won the Champions League is individual quality, it's technique, it's you know, it's an unbelievable defense, it's players throughout, like, you know, it's a system, it's a style. And I will be honest, I don't make excuses. Like, I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm not gonna scapegoat Nunez and Curtis Jones. I'm not going to talk about FSG. for the PSG like tie specifically, Slot got outcoached by Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique was the better manager over the two legs, and maybe this is something that will help Arne Slot become a better manager even than he is right now, because obviously Luis Enrique's experience in this competition, won it before with Barcelona, etc. And I think individual players let us down, including Mo. I'm not I'm not the type of fan like who chooses a player over the football club. I choose the football club over any player. And when it comes to Mo, I think he let us down yesterday. I think Jota let us down yesterday. I don't think there is a single forward who could. One of you guys has a loud as hell mic, by the way. I can hear you breathing. I'm not even exaggerating. I don't know which one.
Maybe me.
Yeah, I can literally hear your oxygen. Like, so with Mo, I think he obviously. He let us down because we expect more of him. Same with Jota. Same with all the forwards. And that's why yesterday, Terry even noticed that when I came on the stream, I kind of had to go at Tom Little because I felt like he was scapegoating. Don't just come up here and talk about, oh, Nunes missed a penalty. Mo, your mic is very loud.
I don't know why the mic is very loud.
I can literally hear you breathe. Just move it back a little bit. So the thing is, like Tom was trying to do like the prototypical shameless fan thing, which is just scapegoat the two players he dislikes. And I just didn't like that yesterday because I don't think you can blame Diaz for what happened yesterday. You can't. And even Nunez, yes, he stepped up. He missed a penalty. The whole world knew he was going to miss a penalty. The whole world knows he's not good enough, but he's not the reason, right? So I think we got out-coached. We got out-managed. PSG are the deserved winners of the two legs. I have nothing to say about the referee, home leg or away leg. Like certain people bringing up referee excuses and offside this and offside that and blah, blah, blah. PSG were the better side than us. We got out-coached. The players didn't deliver, and we deserve to get knocked out. And it's just simple as that. We deserve to get knocked out. And if we do want to win a Champions League next season, like if Arne Slot's next, let's say, phase of his Liverpool management is trying to win a Champions League, then we need better individual technique and we need better individual quality players, because as we saw like in the PSG games and the Madrid games, you do need players who are difference makers. Me and Mo always speak about this. Salah is our difference maker, but when your only difference maker doesn't make a difference, you end up getting knocked out. So yeah, that's my honest thoughts. And I think even you two would appreciate over the last 24 hours, I haven't been shameless at all. I've been completely honest and objective about this conversation.
Yeah, you're only shameless before the games, though. After the game, you're humble. I love this. This energy is so strange, bro. You're only a humble guy after the games. You're so shameless before the games. When you win, you become
what should I say?
Shameless.
PSG will knock us out.
You're so shameless. Right. You should apologize to your people for giving them a false hope. I am not shameless after the game. I am not shameless. Of course, you're not shameless. You got cooked at home, bro. At home, Anfield heritage, my ass. PSG went to your ground and cooked you. Mohamed Salah shot himself yesterday. My Egyptian guy. You know how much I love Mohamed Salah. He shot himself, and actually, I disagree with everyone that said that Nuno Mendes, here you go, he turns off his camera. Here you go, Nuno Mendes cooked him, unlocked him. Mohamed Salah yesterday got in a really good positions, and he really, you know how Mohamed Salah actually made 8 crosses yesterday, none went to his players. He made 8 passes in the 18, each and every one went to a PSG player. You know that, right? The people that say Nuno Mendes locked him, he didn't. That is the first game. This game, Mohamed Salah himself had a horrific performance. It's actually worse, right, than getting locked out. It's worse if you get in the right places and provide zilch, 0. But to be objective, forget the shamelessness and stuff. I still believe that Liverpool are one of the strongest teams in Europe. But the only kryptonite for Liverpool is the midfield of PSG. And I have to say one thing. There is no team in the world that has this technical midfield in them, the 3 of them, Fabian Ruiz, Neves, and Vitinha. No team in the world, by the way, not even Barcelona, have that many technical midfielders. The problem
Remember
is
when I wanted Vitinha 3 years ago, they called me a hipster?
The problem is Liverpool only faced the team that can absolutely outplay him. I disagree with Terry when he said both teams were at it. I completely disagree. It was a good game of football, but one team was very, very good. The other team had a goalkeeper who had a heroic saves in the first leg, right? That saved them. This game on paper, if you ask me, should have ended 6-1 or 5-1 or 4-1. It's only good from PSG.
Sorry, where I slightly disagree with that is those players that would have scored those 6 goals. Say Dembele, there's 3 or 4 chances Dembele had over both legs where you would expect him to score, and Alisson pulled off brilliant saves. But Alisson pulling off those world-class saves is no different to Mo Salah last night turning up and scoring a world-class hat-trick, and we go, wow, he just saved Liverpool. I think you have those kind of moments. But I think Luis Enrique himself, one of his quotes here that came through, said, both teams deserve to go through. They played better than us here, but I think my team showed great personality and character in the atmosphere like Anfield. And I think that's an element that goes away. Listen, they believed in their technical ability and they didn't allow themselves PSG, because in that opening 15 minutes, maybe slightly less, about 10 minutes, there was the opportunities for Liverpool. The crowd was up. There was 2 or 3 passes out the back that went for throws and the crowd were jeering it. And that is an element of the football heritage claim that gets made. That is part of it. The noise, the crowd, the atmosphere, the confidence the Liverpool fans had. What PSG also did alongside their brilliant technical ability, great runs, the athleticism of their defenders, because the amount of blocks they got in yesterday to stop good balls or shots was amazing. But they also were not fazed by the Anfield atmosphere. And when it comes to beating a club, when it comes to your team beating a club like Liverpool, by the way, first time when it was, I know they've lost some games at Anfield in a number. I think in their last 8 knockout games, I think they might have lost 5 of them at Anfield. But very few of those defeats led to them going out, and that's why you've always got to look at the context of what happened in the first leg. Did they rotate? Did they need to win to go through? You know, it's like Liverpool. If Arsenal lose 3-0 at home tonight, I don't think in the grand scheme of their knockout history does that defeat mean anything, because you know they're not going to go into this game with intensity. So PSG were the first team ever in the history of the Champions League in 70 years to lose that first leg at home, go to Anfield and knock Liverpool out and beat them in the 90 minutes. So I think they deserve tremendous credit for overcoming the 1-0 deficit, playing their football, not being intimidated by the crowd, and not allowing the fast and aggressive start, which I think was very unorthodox for Slot's side, who have been more possession-based. He went for a different approach, and I think PSG handled every facet of that so well. And my question earlier around, has it exposed Liverpool? It's a hard question, but I think it has exposed Liverpool. Not that I do not think for a second that they are unworthy or lucky Premier League winners. I've seen a lot of that talk and I don't like it. In reverse, I've seen a lot of Liverpool fans do the same thing and pull up league tables from 1997, where United won the league with, I think, 78 points and the team in second had 68 points. And they're like, oh my God, look how bad the standard was. I don't like that nonsense either, because you're talking about squads that only had 18 to 19 players in, much smaller benches, and you could only make 3 substitutions. And at the same time, you're still trying to win all 4 trophies. So much harder in that day and age than it is now. The fitness levels weren't as good. Our diets weren't as good. So I think we have to, what I'm not a fan of is people removing context to, because if you want to start saying, well, the further we go back in time, the less meaningful trophy wins were because of the points differences. Well, you're going to start to then undo the value of your own
people
trophy.
are only doing that because people are also, we have to say the reverse, which is people are removing the context for Liverpool itself this season. So the reverse is to remove the context for your own seasons.
No, it isn't. It isn't. But you don't do that. That for me is a low IQ way to debate. I've said this before. If the mainstream media are being disgusting towards Mohamed Salah, what I don't want is them to also be disgusting to Harry Kane. I want them to treat both of them well, both of them fairly. So for me, how you react to people saying you're lucky is provide evidence and arguments as to why that isn't true. Just saying, right, I'm going to accept that, but I'm going to start rewriting history as well. All you end up doing is undoing your own club's history. Because if 1999 was a much lower standard, well, I'm going to say the 80s and the 70s, when you won most of your trophies, was an even lower standard, which means everything won since then is more valuable. And it's all a load of bollocks, because what you were up against in that day and age, they had the same challenges you did, smaller squads and worse fitness compared to to nowadays. And I just think that